G'day humans, Chris Stead here. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Every single year around this time I get a whole bunch of emails regarding Black Friday sales, and I don't do a hell of a lot with them. It's great information but not really what I tend to do. So this year I thought I'd do something a little bit different and actually take some of that information that I get delivered right to my inbox direct from the source and bring it to you guys, especially if you're looking to pick up a pretty good deal. Now, most recent email just came in from Lenovo, and there is a brand that I've done a fair bit of stuff with this year. So you will find a heap of content on the site actually about the Lenovo Innovate event that happened over in Bangkok that I was at, and doing some interviews. I got the scoop on the Lenovo Legion Go 2 arriving, and did a bunch of laptop reviews, some stuff on their hyperchamber cooling system. So plenty of stuff on the site for you to go check out around Lenovo. But what are the big Black Friday sales? Now, there's a heap of stuff that is on their site with a Black Friday sale. I picked out the bunch, or they've kind of basically picked out the most popular, the ones that are going to be the biggest benefit to you, the customer who might be thinking about getting a cheap laptop. And I'm just going to talk through them here. Okay, so what I've done here is put together a bit of a spreadsheet. I have a spreadsheet where I've broken down the sales, the recommended retail price, which you can see, well, let's start over here. This is the laptop. Then you've got the release date, when did it come out, the recommended retail price, the sale price, what that discount actually is, and then I've got some of the stats here to help you kind of consider it. So what CPU, GPU, the RAM, the hard drive space, type of display. So this is what we're looking at. These are the metrics I thought would be the most useful. There's obviously lots of other different types of subtleties and differences between the two, but these are the ones that you might be looking at, those high-end kind of specs that are going to help you decide what to get here. Now, I thought it was quite interesting that, probably an awfully big surprise that the biggest discounts are on last year's models. So some of these up to 18 months old. So definitely a generation past, but not all of them. As you can see down here, we've got some reasonably recent releases, as well as some in the gaming space. So as you're looking through this spreadsheet, I guess some of the things to look through, obviously the discount, like how much money you'll be getting off here. I've got to point out straight away actually that these are AU prices. So what I'm expecting is that in other territories, the discount will probably be very similar, but obviously the figure is going to be in the local currency. And AU, as an example, a $1,700 thing in Australia would be $1,000 US. That's more or less. I'm just pulling that completely out of the hat, but that's roughly what we're looking at here. So now, as you can see, we've got some pretty strong similarities with the RAM and HD. So that's something that you can see across the board is going to be, you're looking at 16 gigabytes of RAM with DDR5 RAM. There is one DDR4 up here, so that's kind of a gen back. But yeah, DDR5, 16 gigabyte RAM, mostly across the board until we get the gaming laptops, which I'll talk about in a sec. And that 512 gigabyte SSD. Now you can upgrade these. And as mentioned, this is just a pick of some of the laptops that are on sale. There's more, and a lot of that's fleshed out by bigger models of what you're seeing here. So this particular laptop with 1 terabyte hard drive, for example. So not too much to distinguish them there. They've all got, all the gaming laptops have integrated graphics, not a surprise there. But you can see here when we get to the gaming laptops, it steps up to an RTX 4070. And again, there's the 4080 models available. I think there's even 4090 models available in the Pro. And they are also got Black Friday discounts. So like I said, you can basically upscale these and still get a discount. It's just obviously you're not going to get this price as soon as you step to a 4080. In fact, it adds about $2,000 to the sale price, that is. Now, what type of laptop are you looking for? So we've got a lot of ThinkPads here, as you can see. So these are going to be good work computers, good productivity computers, good student computers. They're not really going to push the needle too far in terms of high performance software or gaming in particular. It's worth noting nowadays with gaming is that a lot of the you can use xCloud and it works really good, and so you don't even need, you can play the top end best Xbox and PlayStation games and PC games on a basic computer now, just over the cloud, and it works quite well. But in terms of what kind of really stood out for me is seeing some of these Gen 9 offerings down here. This is the recent run of product. You can see over here the Intel Core Ultra 5. That's kind of like, that was the start of the year. We're also starting to see Snapdragon sneak into a couple of the post-June Lenovo laptops, and Copilot Plus, obviously. So this is pre that. But you're looking at some pretty decent laptops here for a really good price. So if you're having a look down this column here, what you're looking for obviously is i7, i5. So i7 is going to give you a bit more, and there's an i9 down here as well when you get to the gaming stuff. So that kind of gives you a numbering with the AMDs, Ryzen 5, Ryzen 7, stepping it up. The gigahertz plays into that a little bit as well. So that's obviously clock speed is a little bit more involved with it than just the 4.3. They've got it broken up in different ways nowadays, but it just gives you an idea, like a relative power difference. So this is obviously a really quite a high-end Ryzen 5 chip, but you know, Ryzen 7's a step up, even though it's a less gigahertz, if that makes sense. So that's how you can look at those figures here. Intel and AMD variants, depending on what your flavor is, and they come with either a Iris, that's still an integrated graphics card. The Iris Xe is an integrated graphics card, but it just has a name, as opposed to Lenovo just calls their AMD integrated. Over here on the touchscreen, well, over here on the display side of things, I think it's worth noting these are all IPS panels, so nothing is OLED here. You'll see mostly the same resolution. Where you'll see some differences is in the nits. So this one here, for example, is 400 nits, whereas this one here is 300 nits. So that's just the kind of max brightness. You'll also notice that the hertz is 60 on kind of the workstation laptops, and it'll bump up to 120 hertz on things which are a bit more favorable for gaming. In particular over here, you're looking at 165 hertz, 240 hertz. So on this gaming laptop down here, we have 165 hertz again. Now, I should have also pointed out, I don't know if I did, maybe I did, that this is ordered in, from top to bottom is in kind of the best discount you're getting. But obviously the tech is what we're looking at and how it varies. So have a look at your nits. That's going to show you how bright the screen's going to get. You'll also notice that some of them are touch. So for example here, the IdeaPad 5 2-in-1, that is a touch screen. And that's not a surprise because it's a 2-in-1, so that's going to flip around and allow you to basically use it as a tablet or flip it back and use it as a laptop, so it gives that functionality. And so there's a couple of metrics there to look at in the display column. Right, okay, so from here it's just pretty much a case of getting your head around what looks like a good deal to you and where you are and what you need. And then I'll put some links down in the description so you can just quickly jump to these deals on the Lenovo website. That'll make things easy for you. What do I like the most? What do I think is a good deal here? Oh, geez. Look, the gaming laptop's pretty sweet. Like, that's a fair bit of computer you can get. Even down here with the Slim 5, if you're looking for a thing that's got the ability to do gaming, it's got the ability to do like video rendering, work with some high-end products, but you know, is a bit easy on the weight. Obviously the Slim model. Then yeah, that's not too bad. $2,500. So that's definitely one that's catching my eye. Obviously, if you're really on a budget and you're looking to get something cheap, maybe for your high school kid, then there's a couple of decent offerings here. This is you can get a $1,000 computer here that's Gen 9, so it's this year, and it's not mucking around too much. It's going to do a pretty good job for $1,000. Obviously, you got the A99 one up here as well, but this one to me is a little bit out of date. Like you're going back you're going back to February 2023 for it, but also, you know, DDR4. It's just looking a little bit like it's just going to catch up on you a little bit sooner, even though it's a really good discount. You definitely get away with it for a student, a particular high school student. but I'd be tempted to just pay a little bit more and maybe step up to the Slim 5. Do like the Yoga Pro. That's a fun laptop to use. I've done some reviews of the Yoga Pro 7i on the channel, so go check those out. So that's a pretty good system as well for the price. And yeah, look, definitely some great deals. So anyway, that's a bit of an insight into what's happening with Black Friday sales at Lenovo. Like I said, this is a bit of a unusual video for me. I'm just trying out to see if it's going to offer any help for anyone out there in their pursuit of a new laptop. So let me know in the comments whether or not you'd like to see more content like this. And like I said, there's plenty of Lenovo content on my channel for you to check out if you want to know more. I will say that all of these sales that you can see here, they are all available until the 11th of December 2024. So you've got a good month, if you're watching this video straight away, to act on these. It'll be interesting to see whether they start having any stock shortages, because it's a pretty big sales period. So if you see something you really like, maybe don't hang around too much. All right, I'm Chris Dead. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, I'll check you later. You.